this really hurts. It hurts like a son of a gun.
When?
What?
When did it start hurting like a son of a gun?
Well, a couple of days ago, I thought I'd stubbed my toe, but then it started to swell up, and it feels like I got the world's worst toothache right in my foot.
Is it tender?
Oh, don't touch it, please. I can't even stand to have a bed sheet on top of it.
It's a nice ripe color. Classic case.
Doc, I've got a wife and kids. If I'm going to check out, I'll have to make arrangements.
Very sensible, but not necessary. Gout is sometimes painful, but rarely fatal.
Gout?
Sound disappointed.
Well, Doc, wait. The guys where I work, gout, that's a rich man's sickness. I mean, I drive a forklift. I got the wrong disease.
I know.
We'll fix it.
Well, look at you. Very nice.
Oh, thank you. Is Dr. Rafferty almost through?
Well, he's finished with gout. Now he's in with ulcers. He'll be out in a minute.
I hope so. I don't want to miss the plane.
Somebody going somewhere?
Would you believe I finally persuaded Rafferty to take a rest? And I'm going along just to make sure he gets it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's taking his patients while he's away?
Dr. Daniel Gentry.
Hold on.
No, call an ambulance.
I'm a doctor. What happened?
I don't know. He just suddenly passed out.
Has it happened before?
No, never.
Do you have a heart condition?
No, I'm sure he doesn't.
I'll move him over. I'll drive you to the hospital.
I don't know you.
I'm Daniel Gentry. I'm a doctor. Now move him over. It'll save time. Come on.
Doctor, he's waking up.
Now, don't be alarmed. You're in the hospital.
Where's my wife?
She's fine. No scratch. How is he?
122/84.
Good. You remember what happened?
I was driving, and then I don't know.
You blacked out. I'd like to find out why. Do you know of a reason?
No,
You've never had trouble before?
none.
No head injuries, treatments, surgery?
No. Where's my wife?
She's here.
She didn't leave?
No. Frank? We're taking you to X-ray. How's this pulse?
84.
Hold it. Hi, Angie.
Paul?
I'm sorry this had to happen.
Hey. It's all right.
Don't worry. Nothing's changed.
Mrs. Bennett, I hate to break this up, but we want some souvenir photographs. Frank? I want to run some tests.
Are they necessary?
Well, they're advisable when a man passes out at the wheel of his car. I'll need his medical history.
He doesn't have one. I mean, he's never been sick. Not since we've been married.
Well, he's probably had a physical checkup.
He's never needed one. He's always been so healthy. Really.
Really? Well, just the same, I think it'd be a good idea if he stayed overnight.
Oh, but...
Maybe you should run down to the car and get his suitcase.
Okay. You're not going to listen to the doctor, are you?
Believe me, I'm all right.
You didn't look all right. You look terrible. You turned gray.
How do I look now?
Better.
Do I look sick?
No.
Do I act sick?
Now you're an expert.
We're both experts, Angie, in survival. This is no time to start making mistakes. Hey. Thanks for staying in with me.
Did I have a choice?
Well, you know, you didn't have to stay at the hospital.
I wanted to hear what the doctor had to say. Hey, I said I didn't love you anymore. I didn't say I hated you. Before you blacked out, you were looking through the rearview mirror. You said it was still there. What was still there?
The yellow car you said was following us when we left the gas station. I don't know. Maybe I imagined it.
Lord, it never ends, does it?
Angie, I gave you my word.
I don't blame you for getting sick.
I am going to go through with it. I want you to go downstairs and pay the bill in cash. This time tomorrow, you're going to be in Mexico. As if the whole thing never happened. Here, you better get started.
Okay. I'll meet you downstairs. Dr. Gentry, excuse me.
Oh, just a second, Mrs. Bennett. I think you'd better hear this, too. You're leaving?
Yes, I have to.
You do. Mr. Bennett, I've seen your x-rays. Sometime in the past, you have had major surgery on your skull.
That was a long time ago. But you're right. I was operated on when I was 12.
For what?
I really don't know. My folks just said it was necessary. That's all they told me. I remember that my head was shaved, and they wouldn't let me take gin.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that much?
I guess I forgot.
Somebody opening up your head? Kind of thing you don't forget. Tell me what you know about that operation.
I'm sorry, I can't tell you. It's personal.
This is a privileged communication between a doctor and a patient who performed the surgery.
I don't remember the doctor's name. I'm sorry.
Use a phone. Call your folks. Find out. Let me know, please.
Is it that important?
It could be. We have one more test to do. An arteriogram. They run a dye into your arteries and take pictures.
What if I don't want an arteriogram?
Then you don't get one. I'm not selling anything.
Will it take long?
No.
Arrange for it, please.
I already have. They'll be up for you in a few minutes. I'll see you afterwards. Excuse me.
Here.
The longer I am here, the longer you're stuck with me. Or haven't you figured that out yet?
I'm not in that big of a hurry.
Angie, you wanted out, and I agreed. Now take this and go pay the bill and get the car ready. Now, before it gets to be too late.
Sorry, I haven't seen him all morning.
Maybe you better have him paged. He must have forgotten all about it.
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to page up. Oh, never mind.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Good, you didn't say it.
What's up, Doc?
You said it.
It's enough of the small talk. Let's get to the important stuff. Where's my teddy bear?
Right here. Is that what you had in mind?
It's perfect. Let's get together later and play doctor.
It all comes, said Pooh Crosby, not having front doors big enough. It all comes, said Rabbit.
Morning, Mrs. J.
Oh, good morning, Doctor.
Hey, Matthew, how are you? Not so good?
I'm scared. I want to go home.
Oh, well, then you won't need this.
Is that for me?
Well, there's a problem. He doesn't talk too much. He just came out of the operating room. His throat's a little sore. Had his tonsils out.
That hurts.
No, man.
Well, wait a minute. Sure it hurts. But not too much. Not for long. But when he feels better, he can tell you all about it himself, all right?
Oh,
and you can tell him how it felt to have your tonsils out.
Okay, thanks.
No, thank you, Doctor.
Well, actually, it was the bear's idea.
Oh,
Nice. Pretty?
Is car ready?
Mm-hmm. Since you stayed for the test, I think it's silly not to wait for the results.
Why? I I'm sure if there was anything wrong, the doctor would have shot right up here to lay the news on me.
Please, just stay and talk to him before we go.
This morning, I couldn't get out of here fast enough for you.
I just want to know what the doctor has to say, that's all. Who are you?
You gave us a lot of trouble, Mr. Bennett. I'm Jack Havel. Art Reynolds.
Yeah? Well, I've never seen either one of you before.
What happened to Gibbons and O'Connor?
Reassignment. And it wasn't O'Connor, it was Friedman.
Sir, if you have any doubts, you have a number to call for ID confirmation.
I'll do it.
Honey, that won't be necessary.
Why did you break cover and try to run for it?
Because I want out.
My wife got scared last night when she saw a car drive past our house twice with its lights out.
Twice.
Why didn't you call us?
Because I'm sick of calling. Every time we get a new mailman or a delivery truck pulls into our driveway to turn around. Once, the wind blew a tree branch across our roof. Your men were there in 6 minutes.
That's our job, Mrs. Bennett.
Tell it to him. I can't live like that.
Where were you going to go? Mexico?
I was going to take her across the border. And then I was going to come back myself.
Why should we believe you?
Because he wouldn't have agreed to testify in the first place if he wasn't so damn honest.
You're right, Mr. Bennett has an aneurysm in the circle of Willis.
Interrogating artery. I've got to go in.
Oh, I don't know.
He could hemorrhage right now.
Yeah, but when you get there, you got to know what you're going to find. You know, some surgeons used to wrap the artery with muscle. Hope scar tissue would build up. You ready for it?
But there's signs of leakage right now, I'm sure of it.
Wrong sort of surprise to be fatal. I think I would find out his history. Find out about the first operation. What do you think?
Right.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah, thanks. Miss Keynes,
Yes, doctor.
could you bring Mr. Bennett's chart to his room, please?
Right away.
Thank you.
Oh, doctor?
What are you doing? Where's my patient?
I could
Keynes, where did you move Mr. Bennett?
I didn't move him anywhere. He moved himself.
He checked out? Against medical advice?
Mm-hmm. With his wife and 2 men.
What 2 men?
Government agents.
How long ago?
About 15 minutes. Well, what's the matter?
This medical factory just let a man go out on the street with a time bomb in his brain.
Operator, I keep getting a wrong number. Can you cross-check it, please? The name is Paul Bennett, 5525 Hazard Court. Unless admissions got that screwed up, too. What was that? I missed it. Someone was talking. That's the wrong number, too. Are you sure? Oh, thank you very much.
What is it, a vacant lot?
No, a frozen yogurt stand.
Terrific. Those 2 government agents, did you get their names?
Mm-hmm. Reynolds and Havel. Havel.
I don't want to know what's going on. I just want my patient back at the hospital, all right?
Doctor, I can understand why something like that would be upsetting to you.
Upsetting to me? But just because I've had a patient snatched from under my nose?
Well, I can assure you that the agency had nothing to do with it. Now, look, it's possible that you've been the victim of some kind of a hoax. You'd be surprised how many people have weird senses of humor.
A hoax.
Huh. It's possible.
Mr. Bennett's situation is not a hoax. He has an aneurysm. If it's not treated, he could be paralyzed or dead.
Now, an aneurysm is a weak spot, a rupture in a blood vessel.
That's right. It fills with blood, then it swells until it bursts. It's right in here.
Well, doctor, if such a person were in our custody, I can assure you he would receive prompt medical attention.
And that includes surgery.
Well, we're speaking hypothetically.
Are we? I was speaking specifically about Paul Bennett. He doesn't know he has this condition. He might resist any sort of treatment.
Well, let us worry about that.
You mean hypothetically?
It's not your concern.
I'm his doctor.
You were.
I am. Until he tells me otherwise.
You know, my doctor won't even make house calls. I'm lucky if I can get him on the phone. If I disappeared, he sure wouldn't bother to go looking for me.
Run a check on me.
I don't think that'll be necessary. We said everything, haven't we?
parties of Syria and Iraq. Empty seats at a meeting of
Who is it?
UN Security
Jack.
Council gave mute
Come on, open up.
all Arab nations.
Why didn't you use a signal?
Excuse me, chow time, everybody.
Seeking to clarify the position of Iraq.
Any sign of our friend who likes to drive around with his headlights off?
No, everything is clear. Where's the coleslaw?
That's a low-cal French fry instead.
It's on the news.
6 months ago, Fidel was convicted on a multi-million-dollar embezzlement charge. The Attorney General has stated that he is confident Fidel will once again be found guilty. Next, sports, weather, and a Siamese cat who sings for her supper.
It's going to be over sooner than we thought.
Disappointed?
Come on, Angie, take it easy.
You know where heroes wind up? Special places in the cemetery. Aren't you going to eat?
Not right now. I feel a little tired. I'm going to go lie down.
Hi.
Hi.
Say it.
What's up, Doc?
Wow, I really turn you on. Any news about your missing patient?
Nope.
Well, you don't really expect to hear anything, do you?
Maybe.
Well, are you going to crash here, or do I get to see your fabulous beer can collection?
He doesn't have my home number. I want to be here if he calls.
It's okay. I can take rejection.
Lind. The man might be dying.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Doctor. Hey. The new one's from Tierra del Fuego.
A new what?
Beer can. It's the pride of my very impressive collection. I'll be glad to show it to you. Tomorrow night?
I'll pencil you in.
Angie! Angie!
It's your head. Get a doctor.
Oh, feels like it's going to explode. Is there any word yet on where Dr. Ames is?
It's getting worse.
Well, have him call 981-4551.
Hurry.
He's flying in from
He
Washington.
can't wait. Get somebody else.
Bennett, I don't have the authority. Now, Dr. Ames is one of the top men in this field.
Oh,
He
I
used to
don't
be on
care
staff-
who he is.
Hello?
This is Mrs. Bennett.
Yeah, Mrs. Bennett.
My husband is having another attack. Please, you've got to come and help him.
Where are you?
At the Starbright Motel, 168 East Atara Drive.
I'm on my way.
Who is it?
Gentry? Dr. Gentry, was there any chance that you were followed?
How should I know? Where is he?
He's in the bedroom. There goes security.
Go out and make sure he wasn't tailed.
How's the pain?
I don't know what you gave me, but it sure helped. Oh, it's never been that bad before.
Will this happen again?
Not the same way.
Will it be worse?
It will be unless it's taken care of.
Is that a guarantee?
No way. Well, the operation could save your life. It could cause brain damage.
long do you think I can go on without it?
Paul?
How long?
Maybe 24 hours.
I guess I don't have much choice then, do I? All right. You can do what you think is best, Doctor. Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Calling for an ambulance.
What are you doing? You ever heard of Operation Green Light?
No.
You never will again, not for me. That man in there, your patient, person we call Paul Bennett. Do you have any idea of how important he is?
What, in the cosmic sense? Is he more important than the rest of us? That's heavy.
He is the government witness against Louis Patel.
The mobster.
He's the only witness. There were 4. Bennett is the only one left alive. Now, we've given him a new identity, a new background, new papers, new credit cards, a whole new life. And we're not positive that Patel hasn't picked up his trail.
Not positive.
Our thinking is that he has a pretty good idea. That's why we have to handle this in our own peculiar way.
Look, that still doesn't change the fact that if I don't get him to the hospital, he is not going to live to be your big witness. Now, may I call an ambulance, please?
You will treat him here until I can get the word to make other arrangements.
Jack. Car just drove up with no headlights.
All right, I think it wisest for you to wait in the other room. We'll give this a routine check.
On your feet, buddy. We're getting out of here.
Well, no?
Now, would you go to the door and see if the G-men are out there?
I don't see them anywhere.
Get a chance. Call me at the hospital.
I'm not interested in that. I want to know why you're bothering people that are ill on my floor.
We are making a search of the hospital, nurse, on government business.
It's against regulations, and I don't care who it's for.
Well, I'm sorry. I have a job to do.
So have I. And protecting my patients is part of it. Now, you get your partner and move your act off my floor.
Yes, ma'am. Joe? Sorry, ma'am. We're finished.
You better be.
I hope it wasn't any inconvenience.
We know you've got him stashed away someplace. You can save us a lot of trouble.
Well, why would I want to do that?
All right, save yourself a lot of trouble. You're interfering with a federal officer.
Well, would you like to test your priorities against mine in front of a jury of my peers?
Excuse me, would you mind taking another elevator, please? Thank you. Now, look, Bennett needs our protection.
So what makes you think that the other side will be able to find him if you can't?
That's not the point.
Yes, it is. That's very much the point. You're talking about security. Right now, Bennett's secure. That's what you want,
But
isn't it?
that's our job. And we were doing it very well until you made off with it.
Oh, that was easy. It was too easy. Shouldn't have been so easy.
We were busy with other things. You didn't arrange to have that car drive up with his lights off, did you?
That was just a piece of luck. Excuse me. Doris, do you have something for me?
Yeah, I sure do.
All right. Have you ever had the mumps?
No, why?
I thought maybe you'd go my rounds with me, but mumps are rough on you older guys.
Now, look, we'll talk later, but you're not getting away with this, Gentry.
Morning. Try you something.
Well, thanks.
How you feeling?
Well, I'm fine, except for my head still aches. My wife still here?
Yeah, she's staying in the residence quarters. Seemed safer if she stayed away for a while.
Is that her idea or yours?
Mine.
If you've got to cut, go ahead. Get it over with. You need to get rid of this headache.
I need some information first. Last time we talked, you seemed to have some trouble recalling the name of the doctor who did the surgery.
Because I was instructed to forget. It was in Nogales, Arizona, March of '59. The surgeon's name was Calvin Poe. It's all there in my medical record somewhere.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Your real name?
Oh, yes. James Garfield Springer.
Garfield.
You like that, huh?
That'll make things easier.
Wouldn't be too sure. I know they lifted my school records, my Army file, and my medical records. When I became Paul Bennett, Jim Springer ceased to exist even in the past. They didn't want to leave any way for Padell's men to be able to trace me.
You sure they took your medical file?
Virtually positive. They're not paid to make mistakes like that.
I'll have a nurse come up with something for that headache, all right? You two have a nice chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't tell you to pick him up.
He just walked in. He wants to make a deal.
Well, Doctor?
I'd like to make an exchange. I'll give you Paul Bennett if you give me his medical records.
All right, here's a counteroffer. You tell me where Bennett's hiding, and I'll persuade the Attorney General not to press charges against you.
That won't save my patient.
Think you can save him from a federal prison?
Havel. Who are you kidding?
All right, if we make a deal, when can we have him?
After the operation.
What if he doesn't make it?
I promise you, he won't without the operation. Look, I'll tell you where you can find him. You can throw on all the security you want, as long as you don't move him. Pediatrics, room 336. Now, can I have the medical file?
Give us a few hours.
Great. Only make it 1 hour.
Dr. Gentry?
What is it?
Mrs. Bennett's waiting for you in the lounge.
Great.
And he's got 2 messages.
Would you bring him in, please?
5 West, Nurse Keynes. Who? No, I'm sorry. I can't give out information about patients. Besides, we don't have anyone here by that name. Right. Bye.
Mrs. Bennett?
Hello, Doctor. Is he all right?
So far. What? You know, I'm having some trouble trying to figure you out. You're worried sick about a man that you say you can't wait to get away from.
Told you about us?
You told me you were planning to leave him.
But he didn't tell you why, did he?
No, he didn't.
He didn't tell you how he got to be the target of one of the biggest gangsters in the country, did he? He worked for Padell's company. He found out that computer data was being altered and checks were being issued to imaginary firms. What would you have done with that information?
I guess I'd turn it over to the government.
And pay the price of having your whole life turned upside down?
You do what you have to. It's always a price.
That's plain stupid. I mean, if he didn't want to work there, he could have quit. But if he kept his mouth shut, nobody would have bothered him.
That's what you'd have done.
Yeah. Because I live in the real world, and I want to go on living in it. But he's Mr. Truth and Honesty. He's the kind of guy that pays more income tax than most millionaires do. I'm not kidding. He wouldn't dream of taking deductions most people take. He says he's not entitled to them, as if the government was entitled to half his paycheck. I don't know how to live with a guy like that. You know, after he testified at the first trial, they gave us a new name. They moved us out of town so fast we weren't allowed to say goodbye to our family or friends. Do you know how awful that is?
That phone is going to drive me bananas. Mrs. Arnold's fever is under control, no adverse reaction to the antibiotics. Dr. Landau had to cancel your lunch date, and that's about it.
Okay.
Except
what?
for a couple of calls from a really strange-sounding man demanding to get in touch with one of your patients. But he gave me a name I never heard of.
What name?
James G. Springer.
Thanks, King. Take it easy. He's well guarded. He's on another floor. There are agents all over the place. You've never seen so many steely-eyed orderlies. You can see him whenever you like.
Can we go now?
Now's a good time. Well, what did I tell you? This is Mrs. Bennett. She'd like to see her husband.
Hi, Mrs. Bennett.
Hello.
Please, go in.
Where'd you get this?
Good Dr. Gentry.
Well, nothing's changed. You're still under house arrest.
Protective custody.
If you like that better. I had a long talk with your doctor.
About me?
About us. For some reason, I started trying to explain to him why I don't want to be your wife anymore. I found out that there's just one real reason why. I'm scared.
Angie. Hey, you have every right to be.
Aren't you?
Huh. Sure I am. But I'm trying to keep my fears in some kind of order. Right now, I'm afraid I won't survive the operation. But if I do, then I'll go back to being afraid of Padel.
You know, the doctor said that if he had been in your place, he would have testified too.
Does that surprise you?
Confuses me.
Where are the rest?
We have problems. Where can we talk?
In here? What's the problem?
Apple? Gentry, there's been a terrible goof. Those medical records, Bennett's medical records, they've been shredded.
What do you mean, shredded?
Look, I know it's a hell of a thing, but...
Springer's medical histories, the surgical records. I mean, they weren't in your charge.
I know it's no comfort, but it was a mistake.
Well, you tell that to a man whose best chance for survival has gone in a shredder.
Gentry, we can stand here all day making me feel stupid, or we can find an alternative. There's got to be another way.
Well, you guys are terrific. All right. There's one. An operation. It was 18 years ago, but the surgeon might remember. His name's Poe.
Dr. Calvin Poe. Yeah, I checked on him.
Don't tell me he's dead.
No, he's not dead. He's alive. He's old, but he's alive.
Where?
A small hospital in Santa Barbara.
On staff?
No, he's not on staff. He's a patient.
All right, what hospital? I want to talk to him.
Look, I'll arrange it. But don't expect too much. It's a psychiatric hospital, and he hasn't said a word to anybody in over a year.
These days, he doesn't have information.
Oh, that's all right. It's old information that I want. If he remembers operating on my patient.
You know he doesn't speak.
But there's nothing wrong with his voice.
He doesn't choose to use it. I don't mean to be negative, but...
What, he's a difficult patient?
Exactly.
I've had a few. May I see him now?
Yes. You'll be gentle with him, won't you? It's always a delicate balance.
I'll be very careful, Dr. Watt.
I'm sure you will.
And it's great. A lot of skill in those hands. It's a nice use of color. It's an interesting detail. It's a very good study of the human heart and lung. Trachea, bronchi, right ventricle, left ventricle, pulmonary artery.
No, aorta.
Can't be, that's the aorta.
Superior vena cava.
You're right. Maybe I better go back to med school. I'm Dr. Gentry.
You don't know much about hearts.
Not nearly enough. Who does?
The pulmonary artery arises from the right ventricle. The aorta from the left ventricle.
I'll try to remember that.
I was an early pioneer of open heart surgery. Corresponded for years with DeBakey and that fellow from South Africa. Bonnet.
You were active in neurosurgery techniques, too, weren't you? I'm thinking in particular of an aneurysm operation you performed in 1959.
You got any influence in this place?
What did you have in mind?
It would give me enough toast in the morning. I like 2 slices with my eggs, 1 to dip, 1 to eat with jam. You only give me 1 slice. That's why I stopped talking to them.
I could speak to Dr. Wyman. But you'll have to help me, too.
How?
When you were on staff in Mercy Hospital in the galleys, you performed a special operation on a 12-year-old boy, James Garfield Springer.
Springer? Springer. No family by that name.
In the galleys, Arizona. You operated on the boy. It was a circulatory problem close to the brain.
Jimmy Springer. Had to shave his head. He didn't like that. Afraid the kids would call him Baldy. You bet they did, too.
Anterior communicating artery?
Uh-huh. That was an aneurysm. I never seen one in a boy that young.
Did you wrap it in muscle?
No, sir. Used my own technique. Wrapped it in gauze. So the scar tissue would build up around the weak spot. Better than muscle.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, that toast. Margarine's fine. Enough butter.
2 slices. 1 to dip, 1 for jam.
Correct.
You may have saved a man's life.
Too old for that.
I have never been in a hospital room with an interesting view. Usually all you can see is parking lots. This one's typical. Mostly American cars, medium price range. Couldn't be the doctor's parking lot. But near the entrance to the building, there's some expensive cars. Some of those fancy foreign ones. Now that must be the doctor's area. When I was little, I used to think all red cars belonged to fire chiefs and all white cars belonged to doctors. I don't know why, because our doctor drove a big blue car. Oh, my God.
I'll get one of the doctors.
Is he dead?
No.
But he's dying, isn't he?
You're right. There'll probably be lots of scar tissue when I go in there. What else? That's about it.
Well, it's better than nothing if it's the truth.
Why wouldn't it be true?
Well, consider the source.
Your patient, Mr. Bennett, just went into shock.
I'll get a team together while you scrub.
Start an IV.
Okay, I've got it.
You gonna shave his head?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Jack, hurry, stick with him.
This is as far as you go, ma'am.
Give me a little more exposure. Suction. Cottonoids.
More bleeding than usual.
Yeah. Yep, he was right about his procedure. Scar tissue and all. Thank you, Dr. Poe.
All right, there's the aneurysm.
Clip's ready.
Let's cauterize the specimen.
Too much for you?
No, I've seen done better.
I know. All the plumbing. There's computers and tubes and dozens of things that just have to go exactly right.
Is he going to be all right?
It'll be hours, maybe days before they can tell about brain damage.
Brain damage? Nobody said anything about brain damage. That's a government witness.
Okay, that looks good. That's good enough. Go home free.
One of Gangland's top leaders was slain early this afternoon. Louis Padel was struck by a hit-and-run driver as he stepped off the curb in front of a New York hotel. Witnesses say the car was parked with its motor running until Padel came out of the building. He died of internal injuries on the way to the hospital, just 2 days after his release from prison, pending a new trial on embezzlement charges. In Los Angeles, federal judge Perry Trask refused to comment on this surprising finish to a man's life of crime.
No matter how big you are, there's always somebody bigger.
You won't need Bennett now, will you?
James Garfield Springer. Nope, won't need him.
On the level. Was there ever anyone after him?
I never saw anybody, but that doesn't mean there wasn't anybody there.
You're in a spooky business, you know that?
Is Bennett gonna be all right?
Too early to tell.
You're in a spooky business, too.
Hi.
How you holding up?
Okay. Thought he was going to open his eyes.
He will.
What if he doesn't know me?
You can always reintroduce yourself.
Hi. I'm your scared wife. But I'm staying with you. I couldn't leave him, ever.
He'll like that.
Will he? Will he ever know that?
You mean, will he be well enough to comprehend? Won't know till he wakes up.
I hate hospitals. Hi. I'm your wife.
I certainly hope so. You're my favorite tax deduction.
What do you think?
It's him. He hasn't changed.